Alright, lads, so VOLL standing Uryu is an absolute problem in Brave Battles right now. He's a character that can kill anyone in the field without even moving, just standing still. But the main reason why this character is ridiculously OP is because he can't ignore persistence. He blocks any type of boost and debuff effect while also boosting his own stats. He's a very selfish character and is absolutely soloing every character in the Brave Battle meta. And while that isn't new, anytime a new Brave Battle character does come out, the big question that arises is who is going to be the character to make it easy to deal against them? Who's going to be the secret counter? When Aaroniero came out, the secret go-to character was 1000 Year Blood War Chad, giving him new life in Brave Battles, and what we're seeing right now is very similar, where realistically, unless you have a max transcended Uryu yourself, the best way to deal with Uryu is to use Swimsuit Candice. Now, shout out to Mad for this idea. It's something that I personally didn't think of, but it is surprisingly really good at dealing with Uryus. Now, unfortunately, to make it as best as you potentially can, you do kind of want Candice to be max transcended with a full defense build. That way, she just has more survivability. While you can definitely pull it off without her being max transcended, you will find more success when at max transcendence. And ultimately, the main reason we are bringing Candice here is strictly for this skill. Dodge Quincy damage 50%. So every time Uryu hits Candice, there's a 50% chance it just doesn't go through. So yes, we are bringing back the dodge meta in the big 2025. But also, to further push the idea of Uryu not even being able to hit Candice, we are using a Shioin shield. Again, imagine using a Shioin shield in the big 2025. In this case, though, it adds extra 30% dodge. It doesn't stack, so you can't make the character fully immune. Eventually, the character will get hit, but this does give us an additional 30% dodge. On top of the fact that, remember, you can give the character 15% dodge as a bonus ability. Now, you can further double down by giving this character nothing but dodge soul traits. We did originally do that. But surprisingly, there's a lot of max transcended Uryus out there, and I found having damage taken is a bit better for me right now, especially when I do have, max transcended soul traits. So all these links here are giving me extra damage taken. But stat-wise, they're also further boosting my stat, providing an extra 900 defense. And that's an important part in how you are going to want to build the character. Just give them full defense. So it's fairly simple, right? It's pretty much that. You give as much defense and dodge to Candice, and hopefully she should be able to stall out their Uryu, so your Uryu, that's the kind of big thing about this too, you have to have your own Uryu, can quickly take out the team and kill their Uryu while he is distracted. And it does seem like this idea is catching on because in the last 24 hours, Candice is the 8th most used Brave Battle character. So if you were wondering why you were seeing Candice in Brave Battles, that is the reason why. She right now is the best option to stall out Uryu. Now, we've already gone ahead and fought Time Lord, but just using an example, this was basically a max transcended Uryu that I actually did beat. It wasn't the best build because it did go focus, but still a good build nonetheless. And my Candice was able to dodge it. So, when it comes to how we are using this team, Candice is always going to be going against Uryu. And then preferably what I like to do is I like to put my Uryu against their weakest transcended character. That way we can take him out quick. So in this case, my 1 out of 5 Uryu is going to go against a 2 out of 5 Neela Rose. That's perfectly fine with me. Let's look at the bottom though. Let's see how well Candice is going to do. It is still RNG. You still can get hit, but she's getting hit briefly. She's stalling, though. She's stalling. She just died. That's fine, though. Uryu and Neela Rose were able to get close. That was surprisingly close, right? And even though our Candice did die, she really is just there to add extra time for my Uryu. So even if she does stall 5 seconds, 3 seconds sometimes, that can be the big difference between your Uryu and their Uryu. So let's just keep at it. So again, Candice is going to go into the middle, and then we're going to put Uryu against their Arskin, because right now he is the weakest link. But remember, with this, if Candice does stall long enough, it also does allow Neela Rose to potentially get close to Uryu and take him out sometimes. So unfortunately, my Uryu was very weak there, but that Uryu goes down. Candice actually survived the entire fight there. While it did look like my Uryu was about to be defeated, Arskin did put up a decent fight. The persistence would have activated, we would have been invincible for 5 seconds. So a relatively easy fight. And this right now, unironically, really is my go-to Brave Battle team. It's just super consistent. The only thing you have to do is just pay attention to who, Uryu is going against and who Candice is going against. So there you go. Candice didn't even die there. Yuha, surprisingly, is still a really, I would say really good Brave Battle character. The only really good Brave Battle character now is Uryu. But I've still been seeing Yuha used a lot, to some success too, with like the full defense build, with the idea that he can potentially inflict paralysis and drain. I might have to try that in a video if I possibly even can do that in this current Uryu meta. But in the potential chance you do come against a team that doesn't have Uryu, likely they are going to have Arskin. And in this case, Candice makes a great stall character against someone like Arskin. And it's also kind of funny too, not like it would make that much of a difference to be fair, but you can't give your characters Reed Quincy dodge. So like there is no way for an Uryu to guarantee attacks or hits on Candice. If it was any other affiliation, you could give them Reed X dodge, but right now that bonus ability does not exist. I kind of feel like we might come back to a dodge meta. I'm not sure if it's a good or a bad thing. The big question now with Uryu is like, where do we go from here? Because I'm assuming any next Brave Battle character will have very similar skills. They'll ignore persistence, they will have persistent themselves, invincibility, etc. What is next for Brave Battles? There's always something new to work around, encounter, etc. So maybe we are going to go back to a dodge meta. Or maybe we're going to go back to stat augments, because right now, most of these characters aren't immune to any stat augment. I can't remember what Candice has. But Candice is another... Sorry, not Candice, Mila Rose. But Mila Rose can get inflicted with stat augments. Okay, so Candice is surviving really long here. Crazy long, 10 seconds. She survived 10 seconds against an Uryu. Surprisingly, that Aaroniero was really tanky. I thought her stats were quite normal. I'm surprised it lasted that long. Fortunately, both my characters did win their fight there, but goes to show, right, at least with my particular Candice, we were able to survive 10 seconds there. Maybe even longer, who actually knows? Because we did end up winning the fight with 11 seconds to go, so Candice took a big hit there. She's taken a few hits, but she is dodging quite well. 1v3, Uryu. Unfortunate. Hate to see it. Love to see it in this case, because again, the character is kind of toxic, but in a ways, this is what I kind of like. When a broken Brave Battle character comes out, having this obscure character be used to counter it, it's always a bit of fun when you can potentially pull it off. Again, last year, for example, when Aaroniero was out, you know, we were using a max transcended Chad to counter, and it was surprisingly working quite well. And I guess in this case, because it doesn't seem like stun Ritter characters are going to slow down anytime soon, the next Brave Battle character, if they are stun Ritter, if they're a ranged character, well, Candice is always going to remain relevant. And we can actually see someone doing it right here. Not max transcended, but, you know, it's your best option to counter Uryu, even if you have a 1 out of 5. Give her as much defense as possible. So, shout out to that lad. And I guess in this case, too, if we do come against a Candice, another team rocking the same build, just put Mila Rose against the Candice, and you can pretty much deal with her relatively quick. Candice is not an invincible character, only good against range Quincy's. Any other character can easily beat us, so if we do come against a mirror match, that's what we are going to do. I guess the big deciding factor here would be if their Mila Rose kills my Uryu, which is possible if they're worked on, but nah. In this case, Uryu is now focusing on Candice. That could also slow us down a tad bit, but that's why we have Mila Rose against their Candice. Ideally, you would like Uryu to instantly lock onto their Uryu, but I guess it's random in regards to who he does attack next. That's why it's also important, you know, even though of course, the two important characters here are Uryu and Candice. Having that third good character to take down Candice, if you come against this team, is still going to be important. But I guess it doesn't need to be Mila Rose. You literally could just put an SP character. So unironically, if this team becomes significantly more common, you could even bring back an SP character to take them out super quick. Any technique Quincy killers? I mean, yep, we literally just got one. Could you imagine bringing this ranging to Brave Hours? Unironically, you could, but again, you can't just bring Mila Rose. You could only really do that for one specific team. So next up is a 1 out of 5 Uryu. Shouldn't be much of a struggle, right? Let's find out. So this is why I have gone with DR, just so you can take damage. Again, you can go with full dodge, especially as a speed character. You have access to the Suzume battery links. Likely, if you're a new player, you want to have access to those. They are quite... She's not a rare character per se, but she is an old character that doesn't rerun at all at this point. So you can go with full dodge and make it even harder for Candice to get hit. But if she does get hit, likely she is going to die in that one hit, if you don't include any damage reduction. So this is another team that does not have a single Uryu. Unfortunate for them, but easy pickings for us. And again, Candice still putting in the work too, because in this case, not like it matters. We are going to win because we have Uryu, but, you know, Candice is going to stall, and if she decides to use her SA2, everyone gets extra stats. Everyone gets extra stats, so that's actually pretty cool, because again, right now, there's no character that can specifically block speed characters from using boost or debuff effects. Besides, of course, Uryu, but he blocks everyone. Alright, so we have another full page of just Uryus, but AZ's got a max transcended Uryu. Okay, we're going to try it. They also have a max transcendent Mila Rose. That is toxic. That is toxic. So the idea here is that we're going to just put our Uryu against their Mila Rose. We should win against Mila Rose, but again, the question now is, can Uryu survive? Sorry, can Candice survive Uryu? A max transcendent one. Let's find out. Big hit. Very big hit. She goes down. That's fine, though. It's now over. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. So, even though this team's pretty good for countering Uryus, you still are at the whim of a max transcendent Uryu. But again, I've beaten max transcendent Uryus. You just have to get lucky with the dodge effects. Maybe right now we got too big for our boots. But can I refresh enough to try and find another max transcendent Uryu? Because I do want to try and fight some really good ones and try and get that lucky play. So that's 3-5, 2-5, not quite. Since I'm here, though, I might as well get the Fierce Foe bonus. So Delta 4 does have more total stats than us, so more transcendent investment. But we aren't going to worry all too much. Candice in the top. Blocking, dodging all the attacks. She only got hit twice there. She got hit twice in almost 10 seconds. Wait, Uryu died? Candice, what's going on? Candice? I mean, Mila Rose. Oh! How did Uryu die? I didn't even notice. I think maybe Uryu used a strong attack and somehow asking beat us. That's kind of crazy. I can't get a replay on that. I mean, I'm sure it's quite clear in the video, but I was too focused on Candice. I'm surprised we died there. Somehow my Uryu did die, but funny enough, Mila Rose almost came through. That would have been really clutch if Mila Rose did actually win that fight. I guess in this case, to be fair, it was a max transcended, very well built Askin. So I guess, and to be fair, so is that Orihime. This was a well put together team. I guess it goes to show. Even with Uryu. You know, Uryu did kind of clutch at the fight there, but ultimately did lose that because of the other two characters. Basically stalling us out. And in my case, killing my Uryu, surprisingly. So we go, Candice lasting quite well. Only lasted 6 seconds there, but that is perfectly fine. That was enough time for Mila Rose and Uryu to take down their Uryu. So unfortunately for our next refresh, I didn't come against any max transcended Uryus, but this is actually quite a max transcended team here. I'm going to go ahead and let me do Uryu against Orihime, just in case Askin actually can surprisingly take us out with relative ease. So we're going to put Uryu against Orihime here. Maybe I shouldn't. Maybe I should, but oh yeah, Orihime is still doing a lot of damage to us, though. We are going to take her out. That's enough time. Hopefully we can still win. We did. Nice. But our next team, unfortunately, does not have an Uryu in their team. Still potential they could win this, I guess. Likely not, though. Definitely not. Definitely not. But it's kind of funny that we are using Candice here because her Soberman animation is kind of her just daydreaming, not even realizing what's going on, and yet does, I guess, a lot of damage. So in this case, hold on, doesn't look good for us. I was going to say this is Candice pretty much replicating a Soul Bomb, just in her own world, not even realizing what's going on, somehow countering Uryu. But I guess in that case, you know, since we are relying on dodge, sometimes it can go against us. Candice died instantly, and that wasn't even a crazy worked on Uryu. That's just the nature of dodging, in a way, kind of why it phased out over time for damage reduction, because damage reduction is just more consistent. But again, right now, it's pretty much the best thing you have to do against an Uryu, especially in a case where, you know, for example, that Uryu is, like, more transcended than you. In a normal team composition, a normal team build like me right now, if I didn't have Candice in the team, I would not be able to beat their Uryu, because my 1-5 cannot beat a 5-5 Uryu. However, we are going to try it again. Let's see if we can do it. Do they have 3 out of 5? All right, so we're going to definitely put Uryu against their Mila Rose in the hopes to take her out pretty quick, so then Uryu can then start attacking their Uryu. Can my Candice live it, though? Can she survive? Let's find out. He's wasting time doing strong attacks. That's good. So are we, though. That's not too good for us. Unfortunately, Uryu got weakened. Ah, no. Not like this. I can't believe that Mila Rose actually beat us. We got weakened. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Listen, we took it out. It's fine. Again, not every game are you supposed to win. But, Rashid, I'm sorry, lads. We have to do it to you. We have to take out your team. I'm surprised Rashid is still in Lieutenant. He's an ex-guild member of mine, but somehow is rocking the Yachru team and is sitting in Lieutenants. They have the full dodge. Nice and easy. We'll take it. We'll take the freebie. And that was a fierce foe. So Rashid, we appreciate you, lads, giving us those extra points. We need them. We're taking losses back-to-back, apparently. So at this point, I guess with my remaining refreshes, let's just see if we can find another max transcendent Uryu. We do have another person doing the Candice strat. doesn't seem like we can. I guess for our final page, what we can do is rock the full dodge team. So, for example, if we sort by dodge soul traits, what you can do is use Kaname, and then the two Suzumabachis. One has to be 6-star, one has to be a resurrected 6-star. And this is kind of funny too. Coincidence that she is a speed character, because Suzumabachi is the only 15% an enhanced dodge soul trait that exists in the game. She kind of came out right at the time dodge started to die off, and damage reduction started to become the meta, so we never really ever saw more links like this. But with this particular team, or this setup, sorry, with these 3 dodge soul traits, with the fact that we have 50% dodge built in, with the fact that we have extra dodge free bonus abilities, and also this accessory, we pretty much have a 20% chance against a Quincy of being hit. So this is a full defense Uryu. That's not too great, but that's 2-5, 1-5, so I guess we'll just try the full dodge Candice and see how that goes. So if we do take a hit, we're going to take significantly more damage. If it was a max to the Uryu, we get 1 shot. But, yeah, see, probably don't rock that. I mean, it still did enough to stall out the Uryu. But you are relying on, again, just straight dodge. While the chance of us getting hit is lower, the price of us getting hit is higher. I think in that case, though, we just got super unlucky there. Like, the chance of Uryu hitting us like 2-3 times in a row was low. It was very low. So let's try this again. In this case, maybe I shouldn't have put Uryu against their Orihime, because she looks to be well built. At least to be a store unit, not quite. But let's look at Candice in the bottom. She dodged enough at the very least. So hold on, maybe not. Uryu, stop running. Ah! Okay, don't go full dodge. Go back to DR, because this is not too impressive when you go full dodge. Why was my Uryu running, though? He had enough distance. He could have easily attacked him. But for our next 3 games, let's just go back to full dodge. In this case, Mila Rose against Uryu, Candice against their Uryu, and then Mila Rose against their Candice. Let's finish out these 3 games, hopefully with some wins. We didn't quite win every game. That's fine, though. Again, mirror matches like this should be relatively easy. Mila Rose should make quick work of their Candice. Surprisingly, Candice lasted long there. Okay, not sure. Oh, she had full dodge. That was a full dodge Candice. But again, our Candice did enough to stall out their Uryu. So let's put Candice in the middle. Again, pay attention to their stats here. Both Renji and Sajin are full defense builds. Full defense builds. You can never go wrong with a full defense build. It's probably the next best thing you can do once your character doesn't become the next best Brave Battle character, essentially. So we're going to put Uryu against their Sajin. Really just to take him out pretty quick. And unfortunately, Candice there flash dead into Uryu's lane. So even though their Uryu was attacking our Candice, he was actually attacking our Uryu. But that's why we have Mila Rose in the team still. So hopefully finish up. And the Candice did last long enough there. So let's finish our final game. And in this case, there's no Uryu to go against. But, I mean, listen. We don't really see it all too often. But there is a reason to be scared of a max transcended full defense builder, Yuhaba. Because that can be quite scary. Because if he does get that paralysis and drain, it is over for that character he is up against. Maybe not, let's find out. Can he actually take out my Mila Rose? Can she survive it? We're looking quite good, and we also get the weakening proc. It wore off, though. Uryu, though, coming through. Candice surviving our skin, and that's pretty much the secret. Brave Battle counter, the best option to use, other than a better, more developed, max transcendent Uryu to go against any Uryus you are up against in Brave Battles. Even if you have the character 1-5, it's worth trying out. And right now, again, this is my go-to Brave Battle team. Fortunately for me, my Candice is max transcended. And again, I never got her when she released. I ended up pulling her multiple times since she has come back a few times as a filler. So pretty cool that I do have a max transcended full defense. But as someone that only has a 1 out of 5 Uryu, even though I have a good build for the character, this is my best option of going against other Uryus and more securing that I am going to win the fight. You're not guaranteed to win every game. That's the nature of Brave Battles, but it's your best chance of going against all the other Uryus in the current meta. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Again, shout out to Matt for this recommendation. I'll see you guys next time. Take care and peace.